Okay, mic's on, memory card's in, we are rolling. We're back in the normal spot, as you can see. If you missed the episode from, yesterday, by the time you're watching this, I ventured out and used Barnes & Noble as a backdrop because I was talking about trying to create new reading disciplines, removing some bad habits of just mindless scrolling through the internet. And so I thought it'd be cool to get out, in front of Barnes & Noble. And then I went on a little rant about Barnes & Noble. Make sure you watch. I didn't do my intro. It's August 13th, 10:44 a.m. It is Tuesday. So yeah, here I am, back in the normal spot. Today's Tuesday, so that means it is live show day. It's probably spam. You know the thing that stinks about owning your own business and getting calls? Well, there's two things. Number one, because my cell phone number is on my website, I get spam calls all the time. And then number two, now that they are using local numbers, numbers that look real, I think they're, potential clients. Most of the time they're not. Either way. Today's Tuesday, that means it's a live show day. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. we will be going live for episode 56. And I am doing a series called The 100 Most Essential Verses in the Bible. We started last week, and if you joined, we are kind of determining that it's not really individual verses. They're more like big sections. So I don't think 100 Most Essential Verses in the Bible is the best way to describe it. I didn't come up with the name, and I'm not changing the name. It's a reading plan in Logos that I found, and I imported it in, and I'm just trying to work through some of the stuff. And what we've done, actually, though, is we looked at 3 sections of Scripture the last time, and we found that inside of these, I think each one is creating some sort of a foundation for what it means to be a follower of Christ. And I think that's why they're calling it the essential verses. But we had a really good discussion about them. We spent, like I said, the bulk of our time, we spent discussing how we can apply these verses as followers of Christ. But the goal moving forward is to find some biblical theology in these verses and link them up with the story of redemption throughout Scripture, to discuss, do we agree that this verse should be included? Because we were looking at, I forget which book it was, it might have been Philippians, and we discussed that some of the verses that we thought should be included aren't actually included. But we've had some good conversation. That's tonight, and then I'm having lunch with actually our former pastor. Our pastor who, if you watched the video from the other day, I was explaining our journey back to our old church and me being reinstalled as associate pastor, and the church that we were at in the meantime that sort of took us in, it's that pastor. He and I have kept in touch, and we've tried to get together, it just as often as we can. And so we were talking last week, and we decided to get lunch today. So I'll be meeting him at Faux Saigon, one of my favorite restaurants in our area. We'll be meeting at noon. And then for the bulk of the day, I gotta figure out some of my outlines and stuff this afternoon. I gotta prep for the show tonight. I probably have some housework that I need to do. I have some laundry running right now. I'm kind of in a weird, my wife and I really we're just talking through a lot of stuff, what it looks like, because again, I'm in a weird spot work-wise, okay? I am, I'm stumbling because I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach this topic. Because again, I'm trying to give you insights on what's going on behind the scenes, and so you guys can understand what goes on in the day-to-day life. But anyways, I'm in the process of there's a possibility about a remote job that I could have. It's just part-time, and it certainly would not I would not retire from this job or anything, but it would be a big help. We're just trying to determine what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, because all along, we've both agreed that I'm supposed to pastor and produce content through Theology Nights, and then I started a business, and so I'm trying to get that up and running, and that's, tough because I had 2 people that basically signed up. They just didn't, officially sign the contract or anything. And I mean, I haven't started doing work for them yet, but they basically verbally agreed. And, unfortunately, we haven't moved forward with any of that stuff yet. But we're just in a weird spot. And I even told my wife yesterday, I said, if things don't work out with what we're thinking how it's going to work out in the next couple of days, I'm going to be really confused. Because all along, I've thought that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pastor. I'm supposed to, because I'm starting school again next week on Monday, I'm supposed to be in school. I'm supposed to do content for Theology Nights. I'm supposed to work on our business. That's what I've thought all along. And if that isn't supposed to be what happens, then I'm confused. You know what I mean? I'm confused. But I've also realized, there's over the last couple of days, I dealt with, really, really bad sleep issues for a while. I think I've turned the corner with that. I by no means am I still don't feel completely rested when I wake up in the morning, but I don't know that I'll ever feel completely rested because I don't know that I ever have. But I just want to get to the point to where I'm actually sleeping at night. But I've realized over the last couple of days, maybe the last week or so, I've allowed myself to just sort of create, I don't want to say bad habits because they're not bad habits. I've just become a little bit lazier than I'd like. And that is, obviously not good. So what I'm really trying to do is get myself back to the productivity level that I was at, because I was working really hard in the mornings, and I was doing all of my driving apps. And so I even said to my wife this morning when she was leaving, I really want to sit down and create a schedule. That I think is my biggest thing. I like to have a schedule. I like to know 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5, that's just how my brain works. So what I need to do, I need to get back into that routine of creating my calendar. And I just put things in my calendar, 8 o'clock this, 9 o'clock this, and every bit of my calendar was full. But that's just how my brain works. I can see it, and I know that's just what I'm supposed to do. That's what I need to get back to. Because I notice, when I wake up in the morning, I just sit down on the couch, and that's not good. I need to be down in my office doing my morning reading, like I talked about on the vlog yesterday. I need to cut out a lot of this mindless social media scrolling and get back into doing article reading for content and for research and for stuff like that. I need to really get back into that. And, again, it's just real easy to allow a little bit of laziness to creep in before you know it. It's it expands. It's those little foam things that you would put in a water. It would be this big. And then as you add water to it, that's what happens when I allow a little bit of laziness to come into my life. It just, it sort of runs wild almost. That's just an area where there's just a lot of areas that I really want to get better at. Everything's connected in life. You do one little thing here that can change part of your routine, and there's so many areas of your life that you'll notice get better. So that's just what I'm trying to do. I don't even really remember how I got on this rant 8 minutes ago. I'm just trying to pray through exactly what it is that the Lord wants me to do with all of the things that I have going on, because I don't feel as though I'm doing something that He doesn't want me to do, if that makes sense. So it's not like I feel like what I'm doing right now is what He has called me to do and what He is continuing to call me to do, if that makes sense. And now with starting to pastor again, that is something that I've been looking forward to, and I'm really excited to do that. I'm excited to get back into that. And so as I add that on, listen, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all the things that I'm doing and the things that I get to do. But it's just weird. Again, it's just a weird season. The reality of it is we got to pay bills. We have to have an income. We have to, you have to make money. And again, like I've always said, if I felt if I had it like IT and stuff like that as my background, like mobile phones, computers, things like that. That's what I've done for a lot of years. If I felt like the Lord was calling me to go do that, it would be so much easier. I would just go apply for jobs and in that field, and if I got one, I'd go back and I'd work 40 hours a week doing that. I'd even shift schooling. You know what I mean? I'm working on my Master's of Divinity right now. That's a pastoral degree. If I didn't think that I was supposed to be a pastor and work for that, I would probably go all in on another trade. It's not what I think I'm supposed to be doing right now. So again, it's just weird. It's weird. Ministry is not a job that you make a lot of money on, and nor do you get into ministry to make money. But then in the reality of it is, like, you got to make money to pay the bills. And my wife and I feel both passionately called to what we're supposed to do. So I don't know. And it's just tough. Like it's just tough, especially when you're trying to grow a YouTube channel and you're trying to teach through that, and people look at you, like, why are you spending all your time doing that? Like, just go get a job. Like, well, you don't quite understand. Like, that's not. So I have like weird conversations sometimes about that, and it's just, there's just so much all wrapped up into it. But again, at the end of the day, like, I need to continue steadfast in prayer and know that, like, listen, like, if the Lord has called me to do this, and if honestly we believe that this is what the Lord has called me to do, is to pastor, go to school, work on our business, create content for Theology Nights, teach through social media, all of those avenues, like, if that's what He has called me to do, then His Word says that He will provide for us, and we have to believe that. We have to believe that even when it looks like that's not the case. That's enough of a rant for now. I don't know how much more I'll record today because I have the live show tonight and then this afternoon. Actually, I might jump on and do some prep, and I'll record and I'll show some of that. I'm also preaching Sunday. I'm preaching on Psalm 22. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, if I get a chance, I'll do some more recording. If not, hey, listen, subscribe, click the bell, make sure you join us for our live shows every Tuesday night at 7:30. And we have new videos that post every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys on the next one, or I'll see you later today. See ya.